Hi, I'm Yashasvi. I'm a clinical psychologist. So, in today's video, I'll be discussing how a very simple act of naming someone's emotions can be so powerful and what it does to the person, to the body, and their psyche. So, I'll be starting from the childhood. So, in early life, our brain and nervous system they are still developing. As children, we don't have the inner tools, language, self soothing ability, or emotional understanding to manage overwhelming feelings by ourselves. We need an external regulator, someone who can see our distress, name it, comfort us, a caregiver who can occasionally say, "Oh, you are sad, that made you really mad," someone who doesn't fix but just sits with the feeling. So, children are not supposed to self regulate, they are supposed to co regulate. That is how our brain is wired. And in these tiny, consistent, sincere movements, they help in building internal scaffolding. So, Kohut calls it a self object, usually a parent, someone who does not just love us, but actually builds our world from outside in. So, when a baby cries and someone picks them up gently, or when a child is angry and someone stays calm and says, "Oh, I see you are upset, I'm right here," and that teaches the child maybe his feelings aren't so big and he's still safe. He can feel things and not fall apart. So, when we name an emotion, it gives shape to the formless. Before you have words for a feeling, it can feel like a storm inside. Your body feels tight chest, fast heart, heaviness, confusion. But when someone says, "Oh, you seem really disappointed," that felt lonely, didn't it? It's like they hold a mirror to the storm and say, "Oh, you see, this has a name. You are not crazy. You are feeling something real." This moment gives structure to something that previously felt chaotic, and that structure becomes part of our inner emotional vocabulary. Naming also teaches us how to think about our feelings. So, when a caregiver or a therapist or a friend reflects our feelings back to us with warmth and accuracy, it helps us build what psychologists call reflective function, or in a way, mentalization. Basically, it teaches our brain to say, "Oh, I am sad because I was expecting something different. I'm angry, but underneath that, I feel powerless." Over time, we internalize this process. Even when we are alone, our inner voice starts doing what others once did for us. Naming our emotions, or someone else having name our emotions for us, also helps us in regulating. So when someone names your emotion kindly, it makes it feel less overwhelming because you are no longer carrying it alone. The amygdala, which is the alarm center in the brain, it calms down. The prefrontal cortex, which is the thinking part of the brain, lights up. You begin to feel more in control of what once felt too big. That creates emotional regulation, and it is a building block of a stable self. Naming emotions also creates space for choice. When our emotions are unnamed, they run us. We lash out, numb, withdraw, or collapse, but we don't know why. But when someone names the feeling that, "Oh, you are hurt and also trying to stay strong," you suddenly pause for a moment of reflection where you can say, "Do I really want to act from this place, or do I wish to respond differently?" That is what grows the flexible ego, the part of us that can feel without being swallowed. So, Winnicott also calls this a somewhat transitional space where a child can imagine, but the child is not fantasizing, he is not consumed by the imagination, He knows that things are not real, but he can still play with it in his fantasy. So, naming emotions, creating that safe space also builds this transitional space where symbols, play, metaphors, dreams, they all can emerge. And these small moments of being seen, named, and not shamed, they create a powerful message in our system that my inner world matters. It can be understood, I can hold it, and be held in it. And this is how our emotional self also takes shape. So there is attunement, we feel felt. Um, we feel we are not too much. This makes sense and it makes space. So we are not trying to fix it or rush it, we are trying to stay with it. So there is some emotional permission which gets created, a felt experience. And when there is this holding is absent, we may feel alone with grief, shame, or rage. Those feelings may feel too much to handle. We might push them away, we might collapse. Uh, so, having this presence which can make sense for us of our emotions, it's not about having constant perfect mirroring. It's about having good enough moments often enough. So, what helps most is a caregiver who occasionally notices, oh, you are sad, huh? That made you really mad. Someone who doesn't always fix, but just sits with the feeling. Someone who returns after getting it wrong. In these sincere moments, we build internal scaffolding. But if a child is left alone with unbearable emotions, they don't learn resilience, they learn to shut down. And they create survival strategies. So there might be dissociation. So the person feels overwhelmed. They can't escape physically, but they escape internally. So one of my clients will always say the chest feels very, very heavy, or she can't recall the memories of it, but her mind is never able to rest. Or one might freeze. So they might stay quiet or shut down rather than to risk punishment. Or there might be splitting, so there is all good or all bad quality. So all these defenses they get created, and this is why creating space for emotions, gentle reflection of them becomes important, because it helps in uh, emerging a lot of things in a child's mind. So in the next video, I'll also be discussing about Winnicott's transitional space and what it meant. So, but I thought of creating a short video on emotions first, and why naming such a small act as of naming someone's emotions can be of such a sincere value, can be such of a great value for someone, where we tell the child, oh, they are scared. We don't tell them, be brave, don't be scared. We just say, oh, you are scared. So, thanks a lot for listening. Bye bye.